Every evening, at exactly 3 o'clock, a dog walked to a train station in Tokyo, sat down in the same spot on the crowded platform, and watched the doors of every arriving train for one particular man. The man was Professor Hidesaburo Ueno. Every morning he rode the train to work, and every evening the dog, Hachiko, met him at Shibuya Station to walk him home. It was their routine. It was the whole shape of the dog's day. One afternoon in 1925, the professor went to work and had a stroke at his desk. He died there. He never came back to the station. He never could. Hachiko went anyway. The next day, and the day after that, sitting on the platform at 3 o'clock, watching the doors. People began to feed him. A statue was built while he was still alive, while he was still sitting there, waiting. And he kept coming, through 9 more winters, for 9 years and 9 months, until the morning they found his body on a Shibuya street. He had waited almost a decade for a man who died on the very first day. And here's what should stop you. This is not one strange dog. It's a pattern that shows up, century after century, all over the world. In a small town in Italy, a workman named Carlo found a beaten, injured puppy in a ditch in 1941 and nursed it back to life. He called it Fido. Every morning Fido walked him to the bus stop. Every evening he was there to meet the bus home. Then in 1943, the factory Carlo worked in was hit in a wartime air raid, and he was killed. The next evening, Fido went to the bus stop anyway. And the next. He met that evening bus every single day for 14 years. In Montana, a herding dog named Shep followed his sick owner to a hospital, and then, days later, to a train station, where he watched a casket get loaded onto a train and carried away. Shep didn't chase it. He stayed. For 5.5 years he met every train that pulled in, searching the faces that stepped off, until the day he died, still waiting on that platform. And it isn't only stations. In Edinburgh, the story goes, a little terrier lay down on his owner's fresh grave and refused to leave it for 14 years, through the Scottish winters, until he died on it too. In Argentina, a German shepherd vanished from home the week his owner died, and was found, days later, lying on the exact grave, in a cemetery he had never once been to. No one has ever explained how he found it, and you felt the small version of this. The way your dog is already standing at the door before your key is in the lock. You laugh. He just heard the car. But somewhere in that ordinary devotion is the same thing that kept Hachiko on that platform, which raises a question harder than it sounds. Would your dog do that? If you walked out one ordinary morning and simply never came back, would it wait? And if it would, does it actually understand that you're gone? Or does it believe every single day that today is the day you come home? The answer is sadder than either one. And to find it, you have to stop asking about death and start asking what exactly you are to your dog. We say owner. The dog does not. And for a dog to wait the way these dogs waited, 2 things have to be true at the same time. Here's the first. In 1998, researchers in Hungary borrowed a test built for human babies. The strange situation. You put an infant in an unfamiliar room and watch what happens when the parent leaves, when a stranger comes in, and when the parent returns. Who the baby clings to, explores around, and runs back to reveals one thing: attachment, a secure base. They ran it on dogs, and the dogs behaved almost exactly like the children. With their person in the room, they relaxed, explored, played. When their person left, they went to the door and waited. A stranger couldn't stand in. The dog wasn't bonded to you the way you're bonded to a friend. It was bonded to you the way a small child is bonded to a parent. You are the fixed point the whole world is measured against. So when you leave, you're not the owner stepping out. You are the center of the map, walking off the edge of it. That's the first thing that has to be true. Here's the second, and it's stranger. A dog cannot count time. It has no calendar, no clock, no sense that 3 hours and 3 years are different numbers. What it has instead is a felt sense of duration. Dogs greet you far more wildly after a long absence than a short one, so some part of them registers that more time has passed, but they cannot measure it. To a waiting dog, a long time and forever may feel like exactly the same thing. Now hold those two facts together. You are its secure base, the center of everything, and it cannot tell the difference between a long wait and an endless one. That explains a dog that waits. It still does not explain a dog that waits at a grave, because to stop waiting, the dog would have to grasp the one thing this whole story keeps circling, that you are not late, that you're gone, that you are never coming back. And here is the quiet, devastating place the research keeps landing. Most of the evidence says a dog cannot understand that at all. Dogs grieve. We know that now, and it isn't sentiment, it's measured. When a companion dies, most dogs eat less, sleep more, search the house, wait by the door. One large study found those changes can last up to 6 months. Your dog feels the absence. It feels the exact shape of where someone used to be. But feeling an absence is not the same as understanding a death. A dog can know that you are not here. There is no good evidence it can know that not here might be permanent, that there is such a thing as never. Death, as a final fact, may simply be a concept its mind was never built to hold. And scientists are still genuinely arguing about where that line falls, how much a dog grasps, and how much is us, reading our own grief into them. But if even part of that is right, it changes everything about the dog on the grave. We look at Hachiko on that platform, and we see mourning, a dog grieving a man it knew was dead. But that's us, painting our understanding onto him. From the inside, it was almost certainly something else. Hachiko didn't know the professor was never coming. He only knew he wasn't here yet. Every train that opened its doors was a chance. Every single day, for 9 years, was the day it might finally be him. It wasn't grief, it was hope. A faith so complete it never found out it was hopeless. That's the real answer to whether your dog would wait. It isn't a question about how much it loves you, or whether it's loyal enough. It's a question about a wiring you can't see. Whether somewhere across those years of ordinary mornings, you quietly became the fixed point its whole world turns around. If you did, it won't wait because it's brave or noble or grieving. It'll wait because, as far as it knows, you're simply not back yet. So, would your dog wait forever for you? The honest answer is that it would never know it was forever. And maybe that's the most warm-hearted thing about them, and the most heartbreaking, both at once. A love with no concept of too long, no point where it gives up, because giving up would mean understanding a loss it cannot understand. You'll probably never test it. Most of us never have to learn which kind of dog we have. That's the mercy of it. But tonight, the animal that already decided is lying somewhere near you, at the foot of the bed, against the door, on the warm spot you just left, and it is listening. For the car, for the key, for the particular weight of your step it could pick out of 1,000 others. It decided to wait a long time ago, it just hasn't found out, and with any luck, it never will. That one ordinary day, the door is going to open, and it won't be you. It'll wait anyway, it always would have.